We had a wonderful holiday and we hope you did too. Right before we left last week, we talked about immigration courts. There was much more to talk about regarding them, and we thought we would continue that today. I'm Raluca. I provide immigration, family law, and estate planning legal services, and I'm here with Nina Clear, my marketing and office manager. Thank you to everyone who is watching and for all your likes and shares and comments. They help others to see our videos, and we truly appreciate your support as we love to know we are helping so many with our information.
Okay, so first, before we get into immigration courts, let's chat about what's in the forefront of everyone's mind, right? The government shutdown.
Yes.
And how it might be affecting the processing of immigration applications, so like green card applications or employment or, visas, all those things.
Yes, we posted some of this on our blog, and we'll put a link under this video. But USCIS states that they're still accepting applications since they are fee-based. And the news has been reporting they are processing green cards application, but it looks like there are only a few, and they basically process almost everything, but there are just a few programs that might not be accepted at this time. If you have an appointment scheduled at USCIS, you should go.
Which includes your biometrics.
That's right.
Okay, so any interviews or biometric appointments, you should go to them.
You should, yes.
Okay. And then what about immigration courts?
That is a little trickier. As we talked about the other day, immigration courts are under the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice is impacted by this partial shutdown. So those employees who are considered essential to have to go to work at the courts, they have to, but they are having hearings right now limited to just the detained hearings only.
And do you know, is that just people who are in custody?
In detention,
yes, in detention, okay.
Yes.
And then what about other people who aren't in detention? What should they do if they have a hearing scheduled?
Those hearings are not, they're not on the schedule right now. So the courts are supposed to send you a new hearing notice in the mail, but it is unclear when that will happen.
Because they probably can't do it until they get back to work and they know they're functioning again.
Yes. Or if you have an attorney, the attorney might receive a notice.
And do you think that detention hearings might stop as well?
They may. There is a plan in place for a shutdown for 10 days, which is what we are in right now. But if it goes beyond that, it is going to impact more services. So as we find out, we will keep you updated. We don't know yet.
Okay, so let's move to our topic of the day, what types of hearings you might have at immigration court. So tell me why someone might go to a hearing at an immigration court.
Yes, when someone receives a notice to appear, this means removal proceedings have been started against you.
And I know that removal proceedings used to be pretty rare, but with this administration, they've increased, right?
Yes, and previously they were started if someone was convicted of a crime, mainly.
So like a green card holder, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, or even if someone was without status and they were caught for committing a crime, they would be put in deportation procedures. But since the new policy guideline that was posted for USCIS in July 2018, under which immigrants will receive an NTA and be placed in removal proceedings if they apply for any modification of a status of a visa or green card or naturalization and are denied, we can see higher number of removal proceedings.
And the NTA, just to remind everybody, is the notice to appear.
Yes.
Which is something that should be sent to your home.
Yes.
Right, but we've had, there's been a lot of news stories and different information about that not happening.
Yes.
That people aren't getting them.
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't speak English, can you have an interpreter?
Yes, you can. In fact, the court is supposed to have one if you ask for one in advance. If you don't, you may not understand what is happening at the hearing, and that could impact your ability to defend yourself. Also, you can have an attorney present, but remember that they are not required to appoint you one, so you need to find your own attorney.
And what about if you haven't hired an attorney before you went to the hearing?
You can ask the judge for an extension, and they may give you a short extension to find an attorney, about 2 weeks to find one. Or sometimes when you receive your NTA, you receive also a letter with a list of attorney available, and you can call them before the hearing.
Okay. And are there other hearings besides the NTAs that might take place at immigration court?
Yes, several. Within the scope of the NTA, you may have a hearing called a master hearing, which is similar to a preliminary hearing in that the respondent will enter a plea at that time, and a merits or an individual hearing. And at that hearing, you will have witnesses and you have to present your case.
And just so to remind everybody, these seem easy to us to understand, but the respondent is you if you receive the notice to appear.
That's right.
And just also, these hearings have evidentiary rules and procedures that you have to follow just like you do in other courts, and that's why we recommend that you have an attorney there.
Yes.
Okay.
It's highly recommended to have an attorney during the removal procedures.
And do bond hearings take place at the immigration courts?
Yes, they do.
And you've successfully helped people to obtain bonds while they were in ICE custody, right?
I have.
Do you think someone could do that without an attorney?
I mean, I wouldn't say never, but it's highly unlikely. Even with an attorney, the stats are very low, but it is possible, I guess. But what I know it is that it's more possible if you have an attorney.
Yeah, I think the stats that we showed is that the people who have an attorney are 12% more likely to have a positive outcome.
That's right.
Than those without. So
that's right.
And then people also have asylum hearings in immigration courts, right?
They do. That's right. And we'll do more lives about this, about immigration courts. It can be very intimidating to have hearings there, but with the right representation, you don't have to worry as much. So thank you so much for watching. And if you have questions, please submit them to us here or in a private message. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.